Assalamu alaikum friends. In today's video we will discuss 3 such golden things that bring a person closer to Allah and also bring light to his life. Topic 1. The harms of backbiting and ways to avoid it. Topic 2. The benefits of sleeping with ablution at night. Topic 3. The wise are those who remember death. First of all, let's talk about something that seems small but causes the most harm to the heart and faith, and that is backbiting. Topic 1. The harms of backbiting and ways to avoid it. What is backbiting? First of all, what do we think backbiting is? C. Backbiting. It's a sin of the tongue that we often don't even consider a sin. Backbiting does not mean that you tell lies about someone. That is a very big sin. Backbiting is when you say something about someone that if it were told to the person in front of you, or if they heard it themselves, they would feel bad. And remember, even if that thing is true, in Islam, it will still be called backbiting. For example, you say about a friend, she is very angry. Or say about a relative, there is something wrong with her. She is like this. That thing may be really true. But if that person hears that thing from your tongue and it hurts her, then that is backbiting. That is backbiting as a sin, even if you are telling the truth. Islam wants us to protect the honor of others, to protect their privacy. Because when we talk about someone behind their back, we harm their honor. And you know, it's what Allah hates the most. The Quran's stern warning. And now look how stern the Quran has warned about this. In Surah Al-Hujurat, verse 12, it says, "O you who believe, avoid much suspicion, for some suspicion is a sin, and do not backbite, nor backbite. Would any of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother, and you dislike that? Fear Allah. Indeed, Allah is oft returning, most merciful." Surah An-Nisa, verse 148, Allah does not like that anyone should expose the evil of another except for him who has been wronged. And Allah is all hearing, all knowing. Just think, what a terrible and what a painful example. There can be no worse scene in Islam. Someone eats the flesh of his dead brother. Why does Allah describe this scene? So that we can understand that backbiting is not a small sign. It is not just a sign of the tongue. It eats away at the goodness within a person and destroys good deeds. 3 major harms of backbiting. It is a sin that corrupts the heart and soul. It's hardness of heart. Harm related to the heart, the first major harm is hardness of heart. See, a person who is busy looking at the faults of others never treats his own heart. Our heart becomes hard when we keep counting the faults of others, keep talking about others, and stop taking our own account. Such a heart becomes empty of light. And then gradually a person stops hearing the voice within himself. This is why backbiting robs the heart of mercy and gentleness, weakening of relationships, loss of relationships. The second loss is the weakening of relationships. Backbiting eats away at love. You talk about someone, and that talk reaches them. Then suspicion arises in the heart. Suspicion arises. And then, no matter how strong the relationship is, becomes rifts. Often the distances that arise in homes, families, and friends are mostly caused by backbiting. One wrong thing, one bitter sentence, breaks the entire relationship. And the truth is that the person who backbites forgets after a few moments, but the person about whom it is done never forgets from the heart. Loss of good deeds, loss of the hereafter, and the third, the biggest loss is the loss of good deeds. On the day of judgment, a person will think that he has done a lot of worship, prayed, gave charity, fasted, but when the reckoning begins, it will be known that his good deeds were given to those people whom he used to backbite in the world. Think, keep earning good deeds day and night, and just a few words of the tongue. Transfer those good deeds of ours to others. What greater deprivation can there be than this? Easy ways to avoid backbiting. Changing the direction of the conversation, practical method. The first, and the easiest way, is that when you see in a gathering or in a house someone starting to speak badly of someone else, then immediately change the direction of the conversation gently. Changing the subject does not cause a fight, nor does anyone feel bad, nor does it involve you in sin. For example, then you can immediately say, "Well, by the way, did you hear that? Or let me tell you something. Just doing this little thing saves you from a big sin." This is really a very effective method. Train your heart. the method of self-control, the second method, is to train your heart. Because the truth is that backbiting does not start with the tongue. It starts with the heart. When the heart starts pointing out someone's shortcomings, then the tongue automatically starts supporting. At such times, just ask yourself one question. What I am about to say, is it pleasing to Allah? This is a small question, but it stops the heart immediately. You will be surprised that just this thought saves you from so many evils